Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is SurajSaxena. Today I am here for an assignment on Indian economy and policy. But before that, I want to tell you guys that this is the last assignment in my third term, or you can say first year. Particularly in this term, I never got a chance to tell you guys a story. So today, I take this chance to share a story with you guys, which is set in the backdrop of Industrial Revolution. This story was around the late 18th century. There was a 15-year-old girl named Catherine. She used to live in a small village called Saddleworth near Manchester. There were 5 members in the family, 3 children, 2 parents. The main occupation of the family was farming. So a typical middle class family, happy with their daily routines, normal affairs. But things changed. The family decided to shift to Manchester to earn a better living for their children, to earn something extra, to build a strong future for their children. But things didn't turn out well. Catherine family disintegrated. Why? I hope till the end of this video you will get the answer. Now let's talk about Industrial Revolution. When I say the word Industrial Revolution, the first thing that pops in our mind is big machines, factories, exports, economies of scale, textiles. Textiles because it's all started from there. And the emergence of British in the economy of the world. But a very small aspects gets ignored when we discuss about Industrial Revolution. That is about the people who used to work in these factories. Where did these people came from? Strange, no? We never thought about that. This thing becomes even more strange when I tell you this fact. At that time, 75% of the population used to live in villages, and their main occupation was farming. But the main action of Industrial Revolution was happening in cities. So what changed? What turned around? We will see. Now, as I said, 75% of the population is living in villages and their main occupation is farming. But during the winter, the harvest is zero because the winter in Britain is quite harsh. So for roughly around 3-4 months, this population is completely idle. They have all the time in the world to kill. And I'm not talking about any small numbers. I'm talking about 3/4 of the population, which number goes to around millions of people. Okay. Now, at that same point, the main exports of Britain was wool. There were certain merchants, there were certain traders. These merchants and traders also used to manufacture the clothes. Obviously, the process was not much efficient. But some traders got an idea and they gave rise to a very popular concept nowadays, what we normally known as outsourcing or subcontracting. One of the first examples of outsourcing and subcontracting. You should know that. Okay, so what these merchants used to do is they used to travel to the countryside and they head directly to the sheep farms to buy the wool. They buy wool and divide the wool among families. The families were asked to build clothes out of them. The whole family gets together and build clothes out of them. Now, a time for a fun fact. The phrases in English such as spinning the yarn or pulling the wool from somebody's eyes, all these are coming from this era. So yeah, literature was taking a boost. Okay, so now merchants went back to the city and later when they come back, the clothes were ready. Great. This process was extremely cost effective because these people were already free. They have nothing to do and they don't have great demands. So this process was extremely free, extremely cost effective. Now, when I get the clothes ready, I can either sell it in the cities or I can either export. It's cost effective. I'll do both. I'll sell also. I will export also. This gave rise to a huge trade for British and a huge profit for the merchants. Why? Because the quality was relatively high and the price was extremely low. Merchants were happy. At the same time, villages were also happy. They were getting an extra income in their idle time. As I said before, families were given the task to build clothes. Each member in the family is assigned a job according to the capacity. Now, again, time for a fun fact. An unmarried woman was assigned the job of spinning the wool. That's why the word spinsters come from. A unmarried man, bachelor, a unmarried woman, spinster. Quite a lot. Okay. Now things was going great for 50, 60 years. Things were really good. Merchants were happy. Trade was booming. Villagers were happy. It's a perfect place to be in. But things changed. After 50, 60 years, Britain faced an agricultural revolution. With the invention of certain machines and tools, the productivity and the yield of agriculture increased by leaps and bounds. Now, parallelly, industrial revolutions also happened in the cities. That's why the merchants were not required to visit the countryside. That was a question of problem because some families have already left their jobs of farming and started full time for these merchants. Their livelihood was gone and all these things gone for a toss. Huge problem. And what happened? These families started moving towards the city and an extremely large scale urban migration happened. A parallel what's happening around at this point in India. People are moving towards the urban centers. But this provided the required manpower for the upcoming industrial revolution. The manpower was coming from here. And that's why all the workforce was there. But there's one more question. Where did these people live in cities? The places in cities were limited. Where were these people living? The answer was slums. That's why Manchester had the biggest slums in the world. And merchants took profit by exploiting all these people. These people used to work for 16, 18 hours a day. Even women and children were exploited to work in these factories. Hmm, Not a great situation. But just a small thought. Britishers not only exploited us, they exploited their own people also. So, just a thought. And exploited their own people. So, their requirement was getting fulfilled from here. The whole exploitations kept on going, and that's why when the revolt started, there was 9 factory laws assigned for this purpose, and it gives rise to a whole new philosophy where Karl Marx said that workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. So that was another philosophy which is coming from these things. One more thing, when people are living in such exploited conditions, where is the time for me to spend time with my family? The family needs love, care, and protection. Where is the time for that? That's why it brought about a huge social problem. In the Western world, the phenomena of breakage of family units started from here. That's why Catherine's family also disintegrated. Just a thought. Are we moving in that direction or not? Thank you so much, guys.